This theory of knowledge presentation is presented by Pranav Menon and Brandon Lassalle. We will be investigating and discussing how successful commercials employ different tactics to appeal to the emotion of the audience. I was watching the Super Bowl a couple years ago. The Super Bowl is known for having some of the most famous and hilarious commercials. One of the commercials that connected with my appeal and stuck with me was a Carl's Jr. commercial. This commercial and many of their other commercials had displayed females wearing minimal clothing while seductively eating their burgers and drinking their sodas. They were over-dramatizing the sexualization of the female as a ploy to earn males' attentions. The commercial also showed males on the side of dumbfounded by the woman's beauty, but the commercial ultimately ended with the emphasis on the sandwich, although it was highly obvious that the female was the centerpiece of it all to the general viewer. One example of the tactic is shown in the following clip.
With pulled pork on a cheeseburger, it's barbecue's best pair.
This commercial greatly appealed to the emotion of males to entice them to buy Carl's Jr. burgers. However, thinking with reason, this commercial should not make any sense at all to anyone. It is obvious to see this commercial has nothing to do with the quality of their product. It is simply eye candy. Nor do women who frequently eat at Carl's Jr. look anything like the way the models used in the commercial did. Another commercial that I connected with in a very similar way were the Axe commercials, where they use the same male appeal tactic by directly relating their product to increase success with females. Particularly, they suggest that they will experience increased sexual success if they use a deodorant. For example, at the conclusion of some of their commercials, the slogan, "Spray more, get more," is shown on the screen to bring it back to the Axe deodorant, while at the same time making a sexual reference to further appeal to the male emotions and desires. However, I also thought about how it was perceived and understood by the public. I wondered whether the males, who were the ones most targeted with these commercials, immediately were attracted to what was going on in the commercial, or if they used reason to think about it rationally. Do they think reasonably that it is extremely unlikely and crazy that simply putting on a deodorant would improve their sexual activity and success with women? Whether a woman wants to pursue a sexual relationship with a man depends on more than just the smell. It depends on the man's looks, their personality, and how comfortable the woman feels with the man. This commercial reasonably does not make any sense for the product being sold. It is, like the Carl's Jr. commercial, another empty ploy. These commercials were claiming that the products they sold would benefit the buyer while presenting the product in a way appealing to their emotions, but reasonably it does not talk about at all why the product is worth buying. This leads me to formulate the question: how do commercials abuse their emotional appeal using lack of reason to convince buyers to purchase their products or support their cause? In a broader sense, this discusses how emotion can trump reason.
Comedic commercials are another popular genre. These commercials use elements of comedy as a means of sticking in the minds of the viewer. These commercials are often seen as being very silly, and they often include stupid things in order to make a lasting impression so people will remember their product when they go shopping. A very popular example of this type of commercial are the Doritos commercials, such as one aired during Super Bowl 50 in 2016. Comedy is known to be extremely successful due to the fact that it connects with all realms of the audience. Everybody likes to laugh as it makes life better, which is why using comedy is always a good idea and will put people in a good mood. In comedy, reason is a concept that does not have to matter. For the most part, things that make us laugh often make no sense. Absurdity is one of the major forms of comedy, as shown in the Doritos commercial, where the baby in the womb was reacting to the Doritos being eaten by the father. This makes no sense, but still appeals to the happy emotion because it makes the audience laugh. However, this is not where the true problem lies. The real problem with the commercial is that it did not really present the benefit of their product. The commercial did not provide any reasonable reason to purchase the product. We did not learn any actual information about the product, whether it be health content or taste. The advertisement was distracting us by making us laugh and preventing us from making a logical conclusion. Another example of this was the Puppy Monkey Baby commercial, also played during the Super Bowl. The commercial made absolutely no sense whatsoever. With the Doritos commercial, we were actually able to tell what was going on. However, with the Puppy Monkey Baby commercial, it had no purpose but stuck in the audience's mind because it was so weird and creepy that it trumped all reason. Many people, including myself, remembered the commercial not because it had reason or logic, but because of the strong emotional response the commercial produced. The commercial generated a lot of negative media for being odd, but despite these negative reactions, it became a very memorable advertisement. This is the ultimate goal of these types of advertisements, to force the overwhelming emotion to trump reason by associating the product with something so memorable and absurd and extremely unique that you will never forget it. Another popular tactic, greatly utilized by commercials, is pulling the heartstrings and using sad emotions as a means to appeal to the audience. This tactic is often employed in commercials asking for donations to children or the adoption of children from less fortunate countries, such as those of Africa. There are also a number of commercials showing images of animals in critical condition because they don't have a proper home and have not been fed properly. These commercials ask for people to provide animals with a home and a family to care for them. Animals such as birds and sea life are also shown in environmental commercials being harmed in order to raise awareness of the implications of pollution in the environment, to show that we, the public, need to make a change. By showing these dreadful images, these commercials achieve their purpose of connecting to the public's pathos, which triggers them to want to donate and to make a change. Most of these pleas are made by organizations. The claims they state make sense, however, the organization's statements may not be their true intent. Many of these organizations claim to be nonprofit, but the truth may be otherwise. It is likely that much of the money they receive for donations go to other places other than where they said it would go. They use the emotional appeal to get the audience's money.
The concept of a family is also one that is used commonly and successfully as a theme for many commercials. Since family is very important to people, including this concept in commercials allows a large pool of people to really relate and kind of empathize with the commercial. An example of a commercial that utilizes the familial bond is the Volkswagen Darth Vader commercial, which aired during the 2011 Super Bowl. This commercial appeals to the adult generation as it illustrates the loving and sweet familial bond that exists between the children and their parents. The dad turning on the car, resulting in his son to believe that he has the Force, creates a feeling of sentimentality which appeals highly to emotion. The advertiser is reaching out to the adult market because these are the consumers who make the large family purchases. Many companies marketing higher priced items often use a technique of family time to reach this type of audience. Although this commercial produces a feel-good situation with the concept of family, it does not exactly really provide the audience with the proper information necessary to purchase the car, besides the fact that you can turn it on without being inside the car, which is extremely superficial to the true overall purpose of a car. There are no reasons given in the commercial as to why that specific car, the Volkswagen, is better than any other car on the market, or why that car should be purchased, serving as another advertisement lacking substance. Commercials also commonly use authority figures, such as celebrities, as the face of their brands or products to draw attention and buyers. Although authority can be considered a way of knowing in its own right, these arguments in commercials could also be considered another appeal to emotion, as they take advantage of how the audience feels or would really like to feel about themselves. Whether it be performing well in sports or simply looking attractive, using a celebrity results in a strong desire in people to be like one of these celebrities. The two types of celebrities most commonly used include athletes and models. These celebrities are often used to give false hopes and expectations to the viewers and buyers. Athletes are most commonly used as the face of many famous sports brands such as Nike and Gatorade. For Nike, athletes such as Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant promote the belief that by using Nike products such as shoes and other clothing, one can play at the same level and achieve the same success that these two legendary athletes accomplished. Similarly, with Gatorade, the athletes that endorse it, such as Tiger Woods, help advocate the idea that Gatorade will incredibly improve athletic performance due to the electrolytes. However, anyone who, with reason or simply is using reasoning, can be easily tell and understand that these athletes using these commercials were born with a certain degree of natural ability and have fostered it through years and years of hard work and training. A certain brand of a shoe or clothing or a certain drink did not make them who they were, and it will not make you like them overnight either.
Another large marketing area is the beauty industry. This industry heavily relies on using models and actresses displaying the effects of their products and triggers a desire in the female population to purchase their products to hopefully look like these famous models. One example is Jennifer Lopez and her work with L'Oreal. Many females look up to Jennifer Lopez due to her great beauty and will purchase products in hopes of looking like her. Although these types of commercials serve their purpose and generate a lot of attention and demand, they're based on false expectations. Anyone with reason knows makeup can help blemish some flaws to an extent, but it will never make you look like a supermodel. Although the commercials we have presented are falsely based on emotions, some commercials do provide information as to why their products present a benefit to the user. Many makers of SUVs capitalize on the utility aspect of being in all-purpose vehicles, as well as having a lot of space allowing the entire family to sit comfortably while having fun. This concept has also inspired the soccer mom stereotype of the mom requiring a vehicle like a minivan or SUV to take their kids and their kids' friends to soccer practices and games, or just out to have fun. Rather than solely relying on emotion, these advertisements provide concrete evidence and information as to why their product should be bought and why it is a good car, unlike the Volkswagen commercial discussed earlier. Perhaps a commercial that relies on reason rather than emotion will achieve more success with how much of the product they sell because they give actual information as to why their product is worth purchasing. There's a reason why products such as Doritos and makeup products have to divert away from using contextual evidence and resort to comedy or celebrities in order to gain attention. In conclusion, most advertisements rely on an abuse of emotional appeal to aspects of the product or rely on other distracting content to mask the fact that their product offers no significant benefits to the user. Many of the food products advertised simply come down to a choice of whether you want to buy it. Food products have to rely on false information and divert away from the reason because it is simply just another food without the emotional aspect in the commercial. As shown in the commercials involving the car, instead of discussing specific information as to why the car being advertised is the best car in the market and should be bought, the producer uses other emotionally appealing concepts, such as a familial appeal, to hide the fact that they have nothing to say. They are covering it up, hoping their emotional appeal trumps reason for the commercial. Reason is a concept which is trumped in many commercials, as facts may not be suitable enough to obtain the interest or attention of the audience. It is this fear for not getting adequate attention and subsequently not enough revenue for their product that results in many companies using an emotional appeal such as sadness, comedy, sex, or celebrity as the driving force behind the commercial. However, shown by the example of the SUV, specific information and reason is sometimes used as a tactic and can be successful on its own.
The original knowledge question stated, how do commercials abuse their emotional appeal, using lack of reason to convince buyers to purchase their products or to support their cause? The answer to this highly depends on the product that's being advertised and sold, but for the most part, the answer is by using emotion to divert and push the audience's attention away from the fact that they do not have a significant or proper reason or enough information as to why the buyer should buy their product. Therefore, they utilize emotion in a hope to overpower the audience.